All right, let's stay with this particular story now and speak to Michael Beaumont, ActionSA's National Chairperson. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So it's been a few hours now since we saw that statement by the mayor, and then the subsequent statement by your political party distancing itself from the new changes within the executive. Have you been able to speak to the mayor to understand how did things get to this point?
It's a couple of things here, Mongiwe. Firstly, ActionSA was not part of the coalition that preceded this one. And therefore, we found ourselves a little bit at a loss. We're not trying to speak to the mayor. We don't want position in this mayoral committee. We've been telling him for some time now, despite repeated advances from him, that ActionSA doesn't want to see itself part of a failing and corrupt government, which we believe is a government that he leads. And yet it was astonishing that an announcement was made last night with the mayor declaring our involvement in a mayoral committee that we have rejected. As a matter of fact, as late as last night, there was a meeting that potential coalition partners were invited to, and we declined to attend, indicating we weren't available to join this coalition. And we were simply told, well, we will announce you and you can resign if you want. And that's an astonishing way to run a city as large and as complex as the city of Ekurhuleni. It really does show poor leadership on the part of the mayor, and not the kind of leadership that residents can really get behind and believe is going to produce service delivery and stability at a time where this is needed now more than ever. The revelations of what has taken place in Ekurhuleni are being revealed to us in technicolor detail through these parliamentary commissions of inquiry. There's very real concern. And from ActionSA's standpoint, we are deeply concerned that the mayor would go ahead and make that kind of announcement without our approval, that we would be involved in such a government.
Just a point of clarification, Michael, you say you were told that we can announce you and you can resign. Who said that?
My understanding is that was conveyed by the mayor to our local structures in Ekurhuleni when they conveyed that we would not be available to take up a seat in his government.
So reports suggest that the bone of contention here, some media reports are suggesting that, in fact, he was offered the portfolio of bylaws and not safety. So the mayor would have, according to these reports, wanted to relegate Councillor Khumalo to a writer of fines and not a fighter of crimes. Is that the true bone of contention?
Well, no, as I've indicated to you, we were not trying to form part of this government. So we did not involve ourselves in negotiations with a view towards involving ourselves. So it's certainly not that issue alone that caused us not to take this up, but it certainly is an observation that we made today. Why is the mayor trying to co-opt Khumalo into his government? And the answer is clear. Khumalo is an individual whose reputation for fighting crime is such that he is gaining significant momentum on the ground. And the best way for the mayor to try and deal with that would be to silence him and turn this great crime fighter into an issuer of bylaw tickets, which in our opinion would be a great loss to the work that he's doing. In our view, Ekurhuleni would be better served by a government led by Khumalo fighting criminals, rather than a government where Khumalo is led by individuals accused of criminality.
So I suppose then that this 12-hour deadline is going to lapse with no response then from ActionSA.
It will be the same response we've always given, is that we're not interested. From our point of view, we've been very clear, and we're quite surprised that the mayor is not getting the message.
And when you look at this whole situation, because a lot of questions are being asked as to say, how would you even announce changes to a cabinet, in fact, not cabinet executive, at a time or even without securing the agreements of the individuals you want to put into cabinet? Then the next question would be, if you as ActionSA are looking at Mayor Xhakaza in light of those decisions that have been taken and the statement that you've subsequently, released, do you still have confidence in his leadership?
We don't think we've ever had confidence in his leadership. If we did, we would have considered ourselves available for coalition negotiations in the first place. The reason why we have not made ourselves available is we don't have confidence in his leadership. And quite frankly, the evidence of that is right before us. What kind of a mayor announces a mayoral committee without having a consensus from political parties involved in the individuals concerned? That is not the kind of mayor who can lead a complex city through the challenges that Ekurhuleni faces, certainly not in a coalition environment. So we don't hold confidence in his leadership. We never have. And quite frankly, this whole experience has vindicated us in that viewpoint.
In reality, the coalition politics, I mean, are something that are likely to stay with us as South Africa for quite some time. And we know that this is the year of local government. Has ActionSA applied its mind to who it could work with should the situation arise, particularly in some of the municipalities?
Well, we've adopted a resolution to say as a party we're going to avail ourselves to work with any configuration of political parties after these elections that we think can provide leadership in that particular municipality. And I want to stress that last point, Bongiwe, because what has really been learned very quickly in this coalition experience is the caliber of leadership really does matter in a coalition standpoint. When political parties of a similar grouping can fail fundamentally in one area, but in another area succeed because of good leadership. And look no further than the city of Tshwane. The city of Tshwane, a multi-party coalition, is succeeding. They're reversing the declines that had took place over the 8 lost years of the Democratic Alliance. Finances are stabilizing, service delivery is rising, credit ratings are improving. Every indication there is that that city is on the mend, albeit with a long way to go. And it's a demonstration of the quality of leadership because a group of leaders from different political parties have come together and are effectively leading in that environment. And that's what sets Tshwane apart from other examples.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate your time. Michael Beaumont, the ActionSA's National Chairperson, speaking to us about the changes that were made to the executive in Ekurhuleni, and with the party then saying that for them, they were not party to this, simply do not want to be part of that government.